give Indiana credit, but they made just a few more plays, made a few more shots. Give them credit. Questions?
Your guys really felt that they got good shots. They just missed open shots, and that to them was the difference in this game. Is that how you saw it?
I mean, that's the initial thought, Adam. You know, I think we'll have to look at the tape and see. I thought we certainly had some clean looks, particularly off offensive rebounds. I mean, wide open looks that you want guys taking. I think the ball a couple times stuck, and it needs to move better, particularly with our guards. They've got to see. They've got to see those situations. In our wings can't have 10 turnovers. So. But outside of that, yeah, I thought we had good looks that I really trust that we'll make.
Do you sense anything mental with this team in tough moments down the stretch on the road? Given that it's been a while since you've won one of these. And
no, nothing. I mean, it's hard to win on the road. I think no. I thought actually we clawed back from whatever it was 7. Was it what was it 8 at one
10.
point?
Just 10.
10 and cut it to what was it 3 or 4?
Yeah,
we cut it to
67.
2. So no, I actually I felt great about that. Jamison stepping out, we've got to clean that up. Roddy's play at the rim. He's got to finish that. But no, nothing. No.
What do you say to guys in the huddle when it's clear they're getting shots that they normally make, Bruce, Roddy, even a couple of Jamesons, but it just isn't happening, and you see a lead starting to slip away?
Yeah, I thought at that point, you got to defend better. We've got to find a way to get stops in that situation and rely on our defense. And I thought we weren't as good as we needed to be, given our shooting being as poor as what it was. I felt like it was going to require an excellent defensive effort in general, but certainly if you're shooting it like that, we just needed to be better. We were okay, but I thought Felix was tremendous, and I thought we had some good defensive moments. But when you're struggling to make shots, you got to be excellent on that end.
And Roddy obviously closed the game well the other day, but he still struggled from the court.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything in practice? Is this just a stretch he's got to get out of?
Yeah, he needs to play better. He needs to play better. He knows that. He will. Just got to get back to work, and we got to figure out how to help him as coaches. And I think a couple of his shots weren't great shots. He's got to trust the pass a little bit more, both he and Bruce. But I also thought he had some good looks.
Felix and Zed together. Zed talked about it the other day that this might happen, but what did you think getting to see it in a game?
Yeah, I thought in this game they did a pretty good job. They were good, really good on the glass. It was hard honestly to not play Felix in this game because of his length. It was so, it matched up with their length, particularly with Ware. So, and he was so active. So we really needed him in the game as much as we could have him in the game. And I think he and Zed, they did okay. And I thought Zed gave us some good moments outside of a couple of defensive errors there late that he's got to clean up. But I thought he gave us some really, really good moments.
So obviously, haven't had a chance to review tape or anything like that yet. But you mentioned, defensively needed to have a little bit more on that end with the missed shots. What were some of those areas defensively initially?
Yeah, a couple transition plays where I didn't think we were great in transition defense. We left a ball side shooter one time, gave up a 3. And I didn't think our shrinks off the ball were great. Our ball screen coverage for the most part was pretty good, but a couple transition plays, and I thought we had an error on the ball side overhelp.
And then where are you at with this team's rebounding? You guys had a huge edge on the boards tonight, even the loss.
Yeah, no, I think that's been good for us, and I thought we had some. Listen, I thought we had some really good moments tonight. And I think that's probably what makes it frustrating and disappointing is you have some really good moments, you have some really good stretches of play, you really do some positive things, and yet you just can't answer the bell in terms of a couple areas. One, shooting, to be able to make this what would have been a great win on the road. So we just got to learn from it and move forward and take the things that we need to get better at. There's certainly a lot of those. And then, applaud the guys for the things they did well, and there were certainly a lot of those too.
how does this test your guys' leadership? Like, you look to Bruce, you look to Jameson, like, how does this test those guys?
Well, I think Adam will be tested throughout the whole Big Ten season. I think it's going to be, one test after another, really. And those guys will respond. I really believe they'll respond, and we need to. And I think they'll take great moments of growth from this. And they can't press when they're getting open looks. They've got to continue to trust it and shoot it, and take good ones. But no, I think these whole next couple months are a test of your fortitude, your resiliency, and certainly your leadership.
Did you feel Roddy was pressing?
I don't think so, Adam. I don't think I think his decision making needs to improve, and I really don't think it was a situation where he was pressing.
Renew had a really good game here last year. He had 19 in the second half tonight. What kinds of things were you trying to do with him in the second half, and then how did you adjust, and maybe what kind of different things did you do to try to stop him?
Yeah, no, we'll have to look at some things here. We liked single coverage on, particularly in the first half, and some of our post side, ball side shrinks and digs I thought were good. And then when Felix wasn't on him, it was an issue for us. So we'll have to look at some adjustments for game 2.
I know it was just a couple minutes, but Taysom, after playing just a few minutes, basically comes in here and is playing an assembly ball on a Saturday night. I know it was just a little bit, but how do you think he did with that?
Yeah, I thought he had good. We had a good defensive possession. I have to go back and look at it. The turnover really wasn't his issue. It really wasn't on him. We've got to do a better job of getting open there. But yeah, Taysom's just got to keep working.
No couple forward, go back left.
You touched on this earlier, but 7 of 27 from 3. How do you feel about the looks that you got, and how were you able to generate those looks?
Yeah, for the naked eye, I felt really good about our looks. Particularly the ones off offensive rebounds. I felt great about those. They were wide open. But there were a couple other ones that probably weren't great, but I felt really good about the bulk of our threes.
Finish up with Patrick.
You mentioned resiliency as something you guys need. Both Zed and Bruce separately brought up, we've got to move on to Wisconsin, top 25 team coming in our building. How much is that important to have that focus after a tough season?
Yeah, and you guys know this, I just think that's the story of we've got to learn from this, got to move on quickly, win or lose. That is, you guys, we've talked about this, our league's the second best league in the country. It's certainly what I believe the deepest. Us in the Big 12 are the deepest, so there's really not a night where you can, Patrick, say, okay, hey, that really has to be your approach in every game. Mm-hmm. And we know how good Wisconsin is, particularly how well they're playing right now.
Yeah, you and Bruce both mentioned turnovers as being a big issue tonight. Like, do you see a common denominator that's leading to that? Is it just a lack of focus, lack of, I guess?
Some of it's ball skills, some of it's decision making. It's coming up too much with some of the same guys, so we got to figure out how to help them as coaches, and their decision making has to grow. Some of that's, I think in Roddy's case, just he's got to grow. He's got to grow as a player. Jameson had too many tonight as well, but a couple of those were just ball skill issues where they just got bumped and they dribbled it off their foot. But they'll get better with that. But you can't, the Wings can't have that many turnovers, and you can't beat a good team on the road. So we've certainly got to learn from that.